there's also the really important issue, which I think a lot of times people don't understand, is that there are all kinds of personality and emotional factors that contribute to people playing excessively. People who have a mood disorder, certainly if they have an anxiety problem, they don't like to leave their home, they're uncomfortable around people in the real world, game playing can definitely allow them to feel a greater sense of ease. If people are depressed, game playing helps them forget about the things that are causing them to feel sad. It gets their dopamine flowing. You know, the neurohormone dopamine is a big issue when we look at behavioral addictions. Gets them excited, it gets them pumped up. They feel a lot better when they play. Also, issues such as obsessive compulsive disorder, all kinds of things. And I think that's why sometimes we need a therapist who understands gaming and understands the process of behavioral addictions or compulsive behaviors, whatever jargon we use, to take a look at somebody and sit down with them and try and sort out, why are you playing? What are you getting out of playing? And is this impairing your life in some way, your relationships with other people? And do we want to do something about that? Because, you know, the person has to want things to be different. A lot of it depends upon the age of the person they're concerned about. If it's a parent who has a child, particularly a young child, it's really important that they understand that the reason kids have parents is because they can't monitor themselves very well. And self-monitoring is one of the keys that I think we find in people who can play and not become obsessive. Self-monitoring, self-observation, and self-correction are the three things that I think help people not become obsessive or addictive players. So if parents are allowing their children unlimited access to the internet, unlimited game time, you know, right off the bat, that's kind of a sign that something needs to be looked at with that. It's certainly easier if they don't start out that way and then have to kind of rein it in later, because then you have somebody who's had a lot of freedom and you're trying to take that freedom away. So certainly for parents, it's a lot better if initially they have some guidelines and limits about how much game time is going to be okay. Now, if you're dealing with, you know, let's say when you say families, it could be a relationship partner, it could be a husband, it could be a wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. It's a very different story, because as an adult, we all have responsibilities, and that means either to be working and supporting ourselves financially, to be taking care of the kids, if that's what we're supposed to be doing, or if we're getting an education, we're in training to support ourselves financially. So that's just part of functioning in life. So if you have someone in your life who's not functioning in that way, I think the key thing is don't take over the functioning for them. So if they're supposed to earn a certain amount of money to support, you know, the household, or to contribute to the support of the household, don't take that over yourself because they're refusing to do it because of gameplay. It may sound extreme, but there are people who stop working or lose their jobs because they're playing so many hours a day in MMOs. I mean, people do play 15 hours a day, and that's not that unusual. So, of course, how do you play 15 hours a day and continue to function in life? People may argue that it's not impairing their lives, but frankly, I don't know how they could do that and not have it impair their lives. So for family members, just to go back to that, don't enable, which would be the old term from, you know, codependency treatment. Don't cook food for them, don't bring it to the computer, don't delay dinner, waiting while somebody's on the computer, don't do their laundry for them. In fact, don't even go to the market, you know, let them buy their own food. And again, you're not trying to punish them or be punitive in any way, it's just let the consequences for not taking care of life, let that add up, you know, and people then eventually, hopefully, get the message, gee, this isn't working out so well, I've got to do something different. Now, if that doesn't work, and in some cases it doesn't work, then I think the person needs to really look at, is this a relationship that I want to be in? Is it meeting my needs? Because really the purpose of being in a relationship is to have an emotional connection. And if that's gone, or if the tone of the relationship has become extremely negative, is that something that you really want to continue to do? And sometimes then the partner of the person with the addicted or compulsive behavior is the one who really needs to seek some professional help and sort that out. I started playing about 4 years ago with my 2 adult sons. And there's a lot of irony in that, because throughout their adolescent years I was always trying to get them off the computer. And they were playing in MMOs. EverQuest, I think, was the original one. And I had absolutely no success getting them out of the computer world. I didn't understand that they were online playing with other people at the time. I worked a lot, and as far as I knew, they were just in their room playing games on the computer, but I didn't understand the whole online massive multiplayer thing. So they invited me to play with them, and I found it quite fascinating. I enjoyed playing with people from all over the world, and I will say I played too much. I was definitely sucked into the whole MMO reinforcement schedule and the social embedding and the various things that can contribute to being hooked in an MMO. And I think, again, if somebody hasn't ever played one, it's really hard for them to understand. It's almost got an absurd quality to it. But really, I think it's much more, for many people, much more of a problem than something like online gambling, which everybody, I think, acknowledges people do have a problem with. I've never been a person with any addictions or compulsions or anything that impacted my life in any dramatic way. And so certainly the MMO gaming was something that was dramatically different for me.